Hi friends, welcome to Leonyx Tarot, and today we're going to be getting messages from your higher self. So we're doing it as a pick a deck reading, and as you can see you've got 4 to choose from. And in pile 1 we have the Everyday Witch Tarot. Pile 2 we have the Spirit Song Tarot. Pile 3 is the Lightseers Tarot. And pile 4 is the Animal Tarot. I'm going to be showing you the High Priestess from each deck to help you choose, and then we will get into your readings. For pile 1, this is what the High Priestess looks like. And this is the High Priestess for pile 2. The High Priestess for pile 3. And here's the High Priestess for pile number 4. And I've laid them out like this so that you can choose either from the back of the deck or from the High Priestess card, so you can see what the images are like. And also, if you feel called to do so, you can also choose more than one pile, as there may be more than one message for you in this episode. And if you want to, you can pause the video so that you can choose, and I will get right into pile number 1. Hi pile 1. So before we get into your tarot, I'm just going to pop those to one side. I've got some oracle cards, so we're just going to kind of see, it's like an energy check, see where you're at and what your energy is, and then we'll get into your messages from your higher self. So we have the Lion. Expect powerful change. Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, and diving deep. And then we also have the Flower of Life, inspiration, awe, and dreams. So, you're naturally very courageous, pile 1. And there's a... If you don't already, then there may be a need for balance there. But you're very courageous and a natural leader. And this enables you to tap in to the sorry, I'm struggling with my words here for some reason. But it allows you to tap into all that is. I'd say that you are likely the Marian starseed, quite possibly, with the Whale and Orca Elders that's here. Because of all this blue and the whale. But you're very tapped in. You're very tapped in, you've got strong intuition. And you came here on quite not necessarily a big mission, but you came here to do something that was of importance to you. Regardless of how that shows up in the world and how you embody that, you have a very powerful energy to you. So if there are changes that you want to bring in or that you're trying to bring in, it's very much within your reach, and it's something that is possible in this lifetime. But you're very tapped in. And you may find that although you see the 3D the same as what everyone does, you may find that you see the other layers to it as well the way that everything's connected from on an energetic level, and the way that the planet as a whole and an ecosystem works. You acknowledge that, and the way that we share the planet with not just other people. This feels like it's more than just how you're connected to other people. It's also how you relate and connect to the animal kingdom and nature itself, plants. And you feel things deeply, where other people may brush things off and not think about it on a deeper level. There's something about you that you feel things very deeply, so you might be quite sensitive as well, and may class yourself as an empath. So I think that's all that I have for you on that. So let's get into your messages and see what your higher self would have to say. While I shuffle these, I'll see if anything else comes through. I know initially I spoke about things that you're bringing in and manifesting, but this feels like there's also an element of because you have a different way of seeing things and thinking about things. It's almost like you came here to help change the way that other people see things as well. Like, it's not just about how you personally see them, but it's also about how others around you perceive things as well, because you'll be talking about it and shining your light and just living your life, but you're going to have a profound effect on those around you and change them at a deeper level as well, and how they see things in the world. So yeah, very powerful energy. Pile one. You came here to change people's perspectives on things. And that doesn't have to be, I mean, you could be a public speaker, or you could, I don't know, write a blog, have a YouTube channel, something that puts you in public eye. But it's not necessarily that. It can just be while you're living your day-to-day life, the people that you interact with and the people that you're surrounded by, you help elevate them and help them deepen their connection with Gaia, Mother Earth, and all of her children that live here. So yeah, very profound and a very deep connection that you have. You may have a very deep connection with Spirit as well. You might be quite tapped into that, not just Mother Gaia, but also for Spirit and your intuition. You may actually read tarot yourself or get intuitive messages, or even mediumship type messages come through as well. So let's see what messages your higher self has for you. Messages for pile 1, please, Spirit, and their higher self. Messages for pile 1 from their higher selves, please, Spirit. Messages for pile 1. Messages for my pile 1, please, Spirit. From their higher selves. Get one more. Messages for pile 1, please, Spirit, from the higher selves. These in position so I can pop this one on the end there. I'm just going to check. You can see those, yep. You may have been going through a phase of withdrawing from the world. And going on an inner journey, doing healing work or just self-reflection and enjoying that time on your own. But your higher self is encouraging you to take those steps to begin to re-emerge. Like if you don't feel 100% ready, don't force yourself. But if not now, then soon the time will come for you to step back out. But you're going to have a renewed passion when you do. And you may feel a little kind of reluctance to acknowledge those and take the steps forwards that would align you to your new paradigm. You've gone through some kind of shift, but it's all coming almost full circle. Like you've done all of the inner work that you need to, and it's becoming time to step back out and re-enter the world. Although you may be feeling a little resistance there. And if you're worried about financial stability, then you're being asked to allow Spirit and the universe to support you. Because you see how in this card, I'll try and pick it up. You see how in this card in the world, she doesn't seem like she has a care in the world. She's just letting the winds take whatever doesn't need to be there anymore. And it's just blowing away the cobwebs and feeling it's a very light, freeing kind of energy to it. And this is what your higher self is asking of you. To just let go of anything that that just isn't sitting right with you, or no longer serves you as you shift paradigms and go into this new beginning. And you will be provided for. There's almost a very creative, passionate energy to you. You may wish to share your message with the world, or to share your creations. And you might be feeling like it isn't something that will support you financially in 3D, but you're being reassured that it will. You're being led to a new life that will be very fulfilling for you, and you'll be fully supported on your journey as well. Because when the Nine of Pentacles is upright, it's all about having everything that you need in a very tangible, physical 3D way, and can often represent financial abundance and being good on your own. Like you don't need to rely on anyone for anything. And underneath here we've got the Six of Pentacles, which is all about sharing your abundance, your creations, which is what I feel you're being called to do. So yeah, when you're ready, and obviously don't force yourself to come out of this hermit phase that you're currently in or coming out of if you don't feel ready to. But when you do, because we've got a couple of, if we include the Lion as well, we've got 3 cards here that are all fire element. So you're a very passionate person, and you have a lot of love and a lot of courage as well. And when you do come out of the hermit phase, you may feel like it's taking courage to do so, to step back out into the world and venture forth. But your spirit guides and your higher self, they're all rooting for you, and they've got your back. Like you're going to be supported. You're going to have this Ace of Pentacles that's going to be offered to you, which will take you on that journey of letting go of anything else that you haven't finished shedding while you're in your hermit phase, which is going to lead you to your Nine of Pentacles, to your abundance and physical and financial stability that I feel that's holding you back. So I think that's all that I have for you today, Pile 1. Thank you for joining me. And if you've enjoyed this, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe, and you'll be notified of when the next video goes up. And thank you so much for being here, to Spirit, your guides, higher self, for letting me read for you and tap into your energy. and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching. Bye bye. So I think that's all I have for you on the tarot cards. I just want to pull you some oracle cards as well. Alright, any last messages, please, Spirit? For my pile ones from their higher self. Any encouraging messages? For my pile ones from their higher self, please. Any encouraging messages, please, Spirit, from my pile one's higher selves. So let's see what we've got here. Flexibility. Gently flow through the turbulence. Life has the ability to shape you. Bend, don't break. So yeah, it's about doing things as and when you're ready and making sure that you kind of go with the flow. Things don't have to be as a set way, although we can think that. Things don't always turn out the way that you plan, and that's okay. Allow Spirit to guide you and your higher self to guide you. And we also have mercy. Let compassion fill your world. Offer kindness to all living things. What you give, you also receive. Which very much feels like what your energy is about. I can't speak now. What your energy is about and how you are as a soul. Because I think you do. You do offer kindness and acknowledge the connection that we have with all living beings. So it's just a reminder to keep going and don't change who you are at that core level. Also we have gratitude. Be grateful for abundance. Live in appreciation for what you have, and more good things will come. So yeah, keep focusing on what's working, on what makes you happy, on what fuels your passions and desires. And then we also have adversity. See the gifts in challenge. One can be taught within the calm, but the greatest lessons are learned from the storms. So yeah, I think that's what you're coming out of, in all honesty. What do we have on the back of the deck? Back of the deck we have elegance. It is found in the beauty of nature, the lotus waiting to bloom. Be the swan on the water and glide. So yeah, you may be feeling kind of frantic, or even you may even be not wanting to go back to the fast-paced way that things were before you went into your hermit mode and retreated. But there's a way of finding balance. You don't have to operate at the same speed as the rest of the world does. You can set the pace for yourself on how fast you want your life to be and how you want your life to look. But it feels very much that when you do come out of this hermit mode, if you follow your intuitive nudges and your passions, you won't have to. You won't have to go back to the hustle and bustle and the constant movement. You'll find your peace and have that balance between the two, so that you're provided for, you're doing what you need to or what lights you up. So it doesn't even feel like like you're working. If you're doing something that you love, it doesn't feel like work. And that feels like a really important focus for you right now, to follow your passions. And things may have been challenging in the past, and you may be worried about things continuing in that way if you were to come back out into the world. But you've learnt those lessons, you've integrated them within this time, and things will be different going forwards. You won't go back into that. You've done enough work that you won't slip back into the old paradigm and the old patterns that you used to have. They'll still come up occasionally, like they do for everyone during the healing process, but you've done the majority of the work, and you're going to come out of this with the elegance of the swan. It feels very much like you're the lotus flower that is waiting to bloom, like this card mentions. So, yeah, be gentle on yourself. But I think that's all I have for you, pile two. I think that's all I have for you right now, pile one. Hi, pile two. I'm just going to pop these to one side for a second, and then we're going to take a look at your oracle cards. This will be like your energy check, just to see where you're at the moment and get a bit more information on you as a starseed and your higher self. Obviously you don't have to identify as a starseed to get these messages, but it's something that could also come through. So with the Palladians card here, you might be seeing 444 quite a lot, or it might be a significant number for you, because the solar system that they're from is 444 light years away. So there may be significance there for you. And you've been here many times before. You may have a deep knowing of that and a sense of that already. But with Lost Lands here, with soul memories and gifts, you've done this many times over, and you may find that you are called to the... I always pronounce this wrong. Ashaic records. And tapping into your past lives, so you may have an interest in past life regression as well. So, but there's something that you may feel sort of bogged down with and need to release. You're very independent, and at times it could be to your detriment, where you don't allow others to help you where you could, which may be why the what do you need to release card is coming out here, because it may be that you are kind of blocking people from helping you, or not being able to find that balance, and there's something that you need to let go of to be able to fully embody who you are at this point in your journey. But you also may have links with Atlantis and Avalon as well. So those are things that should kind of give you a rough idea of whether this is your pile, if you resonate with that. So we're going to get into your tarot, and we'll see what messages there are from your higher self. And while I'm shuffling, I'll see if there's anything else that comes through as well. To do this part. It's just a little something that I like to do. You may have quite a lot of soul family here as well, already on earth with you, or they're around you in spirit. And you may feel quite nostalgic. If you identify as a starseed, you may feel almost homesick at times. Like you remember what it was like, and you miss that. For me, that's kind of coming through in more than one way as well. It's more than, it feels like it's more than just a knowing that you've been here before, and a memory of previous lifetimes that you may have spent on other planets as well that's coming through. So you may get quite specific memories or dreams that you experience, where you're almost remembering those lifetimes. If that resonates, take it. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. It's just an additional confirmation if that is for you. But let's see what tarot we've got for you. So, Spirit, what do my pile twos higher selves have to tell them? What messages do my pile twos have from their higher selves? Messages from my pile twos from their higher selves, please, Spirit. Messages from my pile twos from their higher selves. Message to pile two, please. From their higher selves. Messages from a pile two, please. From their higher selves. Can I get one more, please, Spirit? Oops, Daisy. Nearly dropped on the floor. Let's see what we've got in the back of the deck. Four of Cups. You may be holding back on wanting to connect with those past memories from past lives and things like that. And feels like you're being asked to meditate. You're avoiding the soul searching and the reevaluation at the moment, and your higher self is asking you to take a look at that, because you're more resilient than you give yourself credit for. And I'd say that you're quite strategic in the way that you do things. You definitely appreciate your comfort and community around you, that connectedness that you would have felt at source. And you're resisting. There's some kind of transition that you're going through, or that you're approaching, but there's almost like a sense of resistance there. But your higher self wants you to know that you have the capabilities, and to weather it, and it's not going to be as bad as you may think. I'd also say that you're quite grounded. We have a lot of... which acorns? No, acorns are... because they've got different names here in this deck than what they have in the traditional tarot. So acorns are wands. I always get the wands and the pentacles muddled up. So yeah, the acorns are the wands. So you're very passionate, and you have a lot to offer, and you have a really big heart, not necessarily for everyone that you come into contact with, but the people that you're close to. They're the ones that get showered with that love and compassion, and that connectedness that you still excuse me, you still have a really strong embodiment of in this lifetime. So yeah, this feels pretty straightforward, if I'm honest. There isn't an awful lot there, because you feel very tapped in and connected anyway. So this is more of a confirmation than anything that you don't already know. So yeah, it's literally just about allowing yourself to release what isn't serving you and what's holding you back from this transition, because you're fully supported. Your higher self is 100% there, and encouraging in a very gentle, loving sort of way, and that they're there to catch you if you fall. But it's highly unlikely that you will, because you're so surrounded by your spirit team and your ancestors that there isn't anything to fear. So I'm going to, there isn't anything else that I'm getting from these. That is your soul message for this reading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you some oracle cards now, just to get you some more supportive messages, see if there's anything else that wants to come through from your higher self. So my pile twos, please. Spirit, what supporting messages do they need to hear from the higher selves? Supporting messages from my pile twos, please. Supporting messages from my pile two, please. What do they need to know from their higher selves? If you were drawn to pile one, then there could potentially be messages there for you as well, pile two, because we've had two of the same cards come out as what they did for the first pile. Plus, I don't know whether it's going to make the edit, but I did accidentally call pile one pile two, so there could be an overlap. So you don't have to, but if you were drawn to that pile, then you might want to go back and watch that one as well. Can I get one more, please, for my pile twos? Comforting messages from their higher selves. And on the back of the deck we have humour. Laugh at yourself, lighten your heart, let nothing steal your happiness. So yeah, if you've been getting a bit stressed out about things, then you're being asked to kind of let that go and try and take a light-hearted look at things. And you also have quest. Be bold and mighty. Be bold, and mighty forces will aid you. Take action. Good luck favours the brave. So yeah, you're really being asked to be brave and take that leap in that transition. The support is all there for you. Gratitude. Be grateful for abundance. Live in appreciation for what you have, and more good things will come. And you also have discernment. See the truth of the situation. Use common sense and do not be fooled. Pay attention. Your intuition knows. So if you're being foo-fooed by people that are around you and that don't fully understand the spiritual path that you're on, and the transition that you're going through right now, then you don't have to listen to that. You don't have to take on what they say as your own, and you certainly don't have to justify yourself to anyone. You know why you're on this path, and I dare say that some of you at least know why you came here as well, judging by how connected you are. You're very tapped in anyway. So follow your intuition. Don't worry about what anyone else says. You know your path, and you're fully supported by spirit, your higher self, and your team, your spiritual team. in what it is that you're doing. And if you've already been through spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it, you may have already found that as you go through that, you may have a period where people will start to fall away who are no longer in alignment with you. And there can be like a lull where there aren't necessarily a lot of people in your life who align with the new path that you're on and the direction that you're going in. But know that that's okay. It's part of the journey, and as you keep going, you'll start to attract the new people into your life who are in alignment with who you've become and becoming and where you're heading. As you kind of, because your vibration changes when you go through these, and so people that you used to be on the same vibrational level with, you no longer match with. And it's not that you have a fallout with them or any major blow up, you just kind of drift apart because you just aren't on the same vibrational level as you used to be. And eventually the new people will come in who are a vibrational match to you at the new level that you're vibrating at, your frequency. So just keep going. I do apologise if you can hear snoring in the background. That is my little adoptive doggo that's stopping over with me tonight, who's snoring on the bed. It's Toby. And your last card that we have here is love. Listen to your heart. Embrace what makes you happy. There are 1 million reasons to love. So yeah, love is the highest vibrational frequency there is. And as I was saying about you leveling up, it goes with the gratitude as well. They're a much higher vibration than what you may have experienced in the past. And if you don't practice, if you find yourself kind of feeling a bit disconnected from the 3D and the physical world and the material side of things, make sure that you are doing grounding practices as well. They could be quite important for you. They'll help you feel more settled in yourself, and possibly even meditation as well, if you don't already do that, because it will make you feel more grounded and more at peace with where you're at the moment as you transition as well. So I think that's all I have for you, my pile twos. If you feel like doing so, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe to be notified of when my next video goes up. Thank you for letting me read for you and tap into your energy and to your higher self and guides and spirit. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching this, and I hope that you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi pile 3. So before we get into the tarot, we're going to take a quick look at your oracle cards. This will be like your energy check to make sure that this is your pile and just kind of see where you're at the moment. So we're just going to take a look at these before we get into your tarot. Just going to scooch that up there a bit. So you may have been questioning whether you're a starseed, and like you feel connected, and you may be just starting your spiritual awakening, or although you've had many lifetimes, they may not have been here. You may also find that you are drawn to possibly shadow work, or you're very, very childlike and connected to your inner child, and it's almost like you're seeing life with brand new eyes, like with wonder, with that childlike wonder. And it's very happy, very joyous kind of energy. So yeah, if you've been wondering that, then this is your confirmation that yes, you are a starseed, and although you may not have been here to Earth before, you have lived many lifetimes. It also feels very much like you're starting to step into your power, and you may just be starting out on your journey to connect with your spiritual gifts, and to deepen your connection with your intuition and your inner knowing. You may just be starting to sort of get little bits of the clairs coming through, so like clairsentience, clairaudience, those sorts of things are starting to, so like your mediumship and psychic abilities are just starting to grow and to come to the surface. If you're going through those, it feels like there'd be a very recent development, which is what's making you question where you came from, and on a more deeper spiritual level than what you may have done before. So I think that's all I'm getting for you on your energy check. So if that resonates, we're going to get into your tarot and see what messages there are from your higher self. And while I shuffle these, I'll just see if anything else comes through for you as well. There's something that might be won't necessarily be for all of you, because obviously this is a general reading, but you may have an interest in UFOs, extraterrestrials, also possibly ancient civilizations as well, I'm being told. going to do one more shuffle and then we'll get your tarot for you. Okay. Tap me into my pile threes, please. What do they need to know from their higher selves? Seven of Wands. Messages, please, from my pile threes from their higher selves. What do my pile threes need to know? Yeah, you're going through a rebirth at the moment. Get messages from my pile threes, please. Messages from their higher selves. What do they need to know? What do my pile threes need to know? Messages from my pile threes, please. What do my pile threes need to know from their higher selves? Can I get one more, please, Spirit? Messages from my pile threes from their higher selves. What do they need to know right now from their higher selves? And on the back of the deck, I have the Three of Swords. So yeah, you're going through a rebirth at the moment, or you can call it a rebirth or a spiritual awakening. But I'm being told that you don't need to rush this. Just take your time as you need to, and it's almost like kind of slowing down and taking time to meditate, taking time to eat healthy foods, to nourish yourself, to take care of your body. And when you're ready, things will... You're being asked to take your time now, because when the time's right and everything comes into alignment, it's going to feel like it's been turbocharged, and it's all going to kind of fall into place and go quite quickly. And when that happens, you may feel there may be a moment where you kind of question whether you actually want to experience these things or whether you want to pull back, which is why you're being asked to go slow, because if you try and rush this and you aren't ready for this connection, it could kind of spook you and it could feel like too much. Like if you're getting downloads and like energetic downloads from your higher self, and a lot of them come through in one go, or they're sort of like one after the other, it can be kind of overwhelming, and it can leave you feeling quite tired, because you need to rest to be able to integrate them and to make the transition, because when you get downloads, intuitive downloads from your higher self, they are like energy upgrades that come through. And if you're making quite a big jump and leap in vibration, then it can kind of make you feel a little bit out of whack slightly, because it can be quite intense. Not in a bad way, but just that it kind of makes you take that step back and need to rest to be able to fully integrate them and understand them. Because it's a process. You don't just flip a switch and it's all there. It's something that comes through in dribs and drabs and builds upon itself. Like, you know what it's like if there's a massive update on your computer for the operating system, and it takes forever to download, and then it has to reconfigure, and then it has to do something else again when you go to start it up. There's all this, the process behind it of the integration of that update. And it's very similar for our energy bodies and our brain. When we go through these downloads, it's the same sort of thing of how it affects us energetically. So you need to take that time to reflect and integrate. And there may be something with working with the moon phases as well. If you haven't looked into that, then it might be something that would be of interest to you, to do cyclical living, because then it will help you to tune into your body as well. Same as if you were to do meditation or yoga, it's all quite grounding and will help you to be in tune with your physical body. And by working with the moon phases, that will help with knowing, it's a more conscious way of knowing when to take action and when to rest and go within and do the inner work. It gives you a lunar month to go through the process, so that you have outward action and planning and all those sorts of things, and then you also have a time for introspection, for rest, for healing and rejuvenation. So if you find that you're getting kind of swept away, or you're not quite sure how to bring that balance in, then that's something that could be really useful for you. But there almost feels like a separation here that you're avoiding acknowledging, or that's beginning to heal. I think it's more that you're beginning to heal. There's a possibility for some of you that you are avoiding looking at it more closely because of how painful it is, and some of you will be healing from it already. But once the healing is complete, then it will clear away the last of the blockages, and you're going to be going full circle, and things are they're coming to completion. So you'll be phasing out an old cycle and beginning to embody the new cycle that you're going into, this new life and new sense of being and connection to who you are, because this feels very much about new beginnings and and an innocence as well. So that's what's on its way for you. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you on those. So to end the reading, before we go, I'm just going to pull some oracle cards for you and get some last messages. Sorry about that, pile 3. My memory card cut out there. I was talking to myself for ages because I didn't realise. So I've already drawn your oracle cards for your final messages, and on the back of the deck, just checking that it's still recording, paranoid now. Let me just adjust that slightly so that you've got the cards in there. That's better. So on the back of the deck we had metamorphosis. Trust the process and be patient. Becoming cannot be rushed. Change is beautiful. Which is what you're going through right now, this metamorphosis of the new that you're bringing in. We also have pilgrimage. You're on a journey to your own greatness. Your soul is longing to find the way. Only you can choose your path. Anticipation. Something wonderful is happening. Change is in the air. Open yourself to blessings on their way. And prosperity. I've just realised it's got a frog on, the same as what you've got up here. Focus on the positive and more good will come. Give thanks for blessings and they will multiply. Prosperity begins in the mind. So yeah, meditation would be good for you at the moment as well. And if you wanted to, you could also look at possibly a gratitude journal. So we also have mercy. Let compassion fill your world. Offer kindness to all living things. What you give, you also receive. So yeah, you're just being asked to kind of acknowledge where you are right now and acknowledge the metamorphosis that's going on within you, the transmutation and the changes that are taking place, and really kind of treat yourself with kindness and gentleness at the moment, because the transitions and the changes of getting these intuitive downloads, it can take a lot out of you. So just keep focusing on the positives and of where you are right now, where you've come from, the things that you've already healed and transmuted to bring this transition about. And I think that's all that I have for you today. So thank you for letting me read for you and for tapping into your energy of your higher self and your spirit guides and spirit. And thank you for being here. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe, and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And I hope that you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Hi there, Powerful. Sorry if things look a little bit different. It's been a few days since I started recording this reading. So yeah, if things look a bit different, I do apologise. Before we get into the tarot, to get messages from your higher self, we're going to look at some oracle cards just to check in and kind of see where your energy is for this pile and get a little bit more information on your higher self and where you would have come from and things like that. So I'm just going to pop the tarot over here a second, and then we'll take a look at these. This will let you sort of check in and make sure that this resonates for you. And I'm just going to shunt those there a little bit more. So, my pile fours. When it comes to this time round on Earth, it feels very much like you're quite, I want to say new, but I think that it's because you're potentially new to Earth and would have lived out many lifetimes in another galaxy. But you're very tapped in spiritually, and you see things from a larger perspective as well, or at least your higher self does. But there may be, it feels like your higher self has had a bit of an issue sort of fitting in with life in the 3D and on Earth in this lifetime. You may feel very drawn to nature and spending time, whether it be by the sea or in the woods, just kind of surrounding yourself with nature. This might be kind of only for a few of you, but I'm being shown a vegetable garden, so some of you may like gardening and have that as your way of spending time with nature, or you bring nature in by having house plants and things like that. But there are things that would have come through with you into this lifetime, karmic lessons and things that you didn't finish working through in a previous life, that you're still integrating and working through, and that you're learning from. You also have an ability to see things that other people don't, or see them in a different way. It's like having a different way of thinking and processing things to what most people do. Because we've got two cards here of, we've got one here of loosening your grip, and then we've also got bring love into the situation, but both of these talk about letting go. So there's very much that process of healing and going through those karmic lessons so that you can release them. But you have the ability to be a very strong manifester. You may not realise that you're doing it. Even down to, I don't know, if you need a parking space or something, and when you're going to a destination and there always seems to be a parking space ready there waiting for you, like it was all planned out. Little things that maybe in your day-to-day type thing that you are you're bringing in, even though you may not realise that you're doing it at the time. You may not be consciously manifesting it. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight as to whether this is your pile. I'm not quite sure why Spirits had me do 4 piles, but they were adamant that we were going to have 4 piles for this reading, so we will see what comes out. Sorry guys, got itchy nose there. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that I've missed on your energy check while I shuffle these, if they'll shuffle. Your energy feels really peaceful. Like there isn't a constant chatter. It doesn't feel it just feels really calm and quite stress-free and easygoing. Which is really nice. It's really nice energy to sit in, I must admit. So let's see what the tarot has for you. What information we can get. So, Spirit. What are my pile 4's messages from their higher selves? Messages from my pile 4's, please, from their higher selves. Messages from my pile 4's, please, from their higher selves. What do my pile 4's need to know about their higher selves? What messages do they have for them? Messages from my pile 4's, please, Spirit. Yes, more please. Messages from my pile 4's. What messages my pile 4's higher selves have for them, please? Let's see what we've got so far. King of Pentacles, Emperor in reverse, Two of Swords, Page of Swords. Can I get one more, please, Spirit? One more for what's going on. What are the messages for my pile 4's higher selves, please? And back of the deck, we've got a Knight of Cups. It feels like you've been working really hard in this life, and you've managed to get the financial stability that you've been seeking, and But there's... Sorry, I'm just trying to make sense of everything that's coming through, because it's like it's all coming through at once. You're very tapped in and intuitive, whether you realise it or not. Because I kind of get a sense that it's there, but you may not be aware of it, or to the extent of it. But there's a need to make plans. It's like you've hit a point, quite possibly in your career, where you've pursued the career and you've done everything that was almost expected of you, but now you've hit a point where you're not quite so sure whether it's what you want or whether it's what you're happy with. And so you're being asked to kind of take a step back and really think about what it is that you want to be doing. You're very logical thinking as well. Although you're highly intuitive, you like to think things through logically and to have an idea of where it is that you're going. There's also some kind of healing that's going on as well, with the Ten of Swords in reverse here. If it isn't happening already, then it's going to be happening soon in the near future. Because of the swords falling out, because of it being upside down. There may have been a time where you would have felt maybe stabbed in the back, or that things hadn't turned out the way that you wanted them to, that would have brought you your emotional fulfillment. But that time's passed now, and there's healing happening. And it's a time of looking within and planning, and before you start taking those steps to allow yourself to heal. Because once you have, then you're going to have this offer, or this opportunity for your emotional fulfillment. It feels almost like quite a defeated sort of energy. Almost like you want to give up trying. But your higher self is like, no, you can't, don't give up. Take the time to heal and to rest and to recuperate and kind of get your second wind. But don't give up hope completely. And come back to it and try again, or try something new. Come at it from a different angle than what you did previously. But don't give up. Don't stop completely and go, oh well, that's it, it's done. It's not going to work, it's never going to happen. You're being asked to review, and it's like with anything, and I learnt this mostly through cyclical living. But when you try something, you have that review phase where you've taken the action steps and you've put things into action and you've tried your best, and then you have to kind of take a step back, review, see what worked, see what didn't, What could you change? What needs to be taken out so that you're not putting your energy into something that isn't working? And then focus on the things that are working, and whether there are other things that you can bring in that would also support that, that may work better than the things that you've stopped and cut out. So, and it's kind of, it feels that sort of energy, that reviewing and looking back over what you've achieved so far, where you are at the moment, what worked, didn't work, and kind of taking it from there, because we can only start from where we're at. So there's no point getting anxious or disappointed because you're not where you want to be, because it will come. And if you don't end up with what it was that you originally wanted, then it's important to remember that rejection is divine protection. So if it wasn't meant for you, or you didn't achieve that and didn't get that, then it wasn't meant for you, and it was for a reason. Anything that's meant for you, regardless of the circumstances and how long you have to wait, or someone else has to wait for you, if it's meant for you, it will come to you. Providing that we do the healing and clear the blockages that are stopping it from coming in, because obviously we can block things from coming to us if we don't believe that we are worthy enough or anything like that, or there's some kind of a limiting belief that's holding us back. It can stop our manifestations from coming in. But as long as you're healing those and taking the time to look at them, it's not so much that, oh, everything has to be healed and perfect for things to move forwards. It's simply a matter of acknowledging them and being willing to sit with them. And it's almost like this sense of needing to sit down with yourself and like the shadow aspects of yourself, and sort of pouring them a cup of tea. And for anyone that's watching this, that watches Kino Tarot, then you'll know exactly what I'm referencing to. She's amazing. But sit down with them, pour them a cup of tea, and see what it is that they are, those limiting beliefs and fears are trying to show you, and to almost teach you. And just allowing that to, because you don't have to force it. It's almost just like allowing a flower to blossom. You don't have to pry it open. If you just gently sit with it and observe it, it will open up, and then you can access the layers that are underneath it. So just kind of be gentle with yourself right now. I kind of went off on a bit of a tangent there, but that was what was coming through, and it seemed important to get that across to you, powerful, because things are on their way, but don't give up. Allow yourself to rest and get your second wind, and then take those steps to move forwards. Once you've worked out what it is, what direction you want to go in, and what's working for you and what makes you happy, then take that, even if it's a small baby step. Just take those steps forwards. So I'm going to get some oracle cards for you now as well, just to see if there's any advice that Spirit or your higher self want you to have or know. So do we have any additional messages, please, for my pile fours from Spirit or their higher selves? Oh, no, I dropped them. Right, we've got 2 there. I think that's it. I don't think there's any more. I just kind of leapt out the top there. Got any more, please? That one wants to come out. Any messages from Spirit and my pile fours higher self, please? Messages of advice, things that they should be focusing on right now. Can we get one more, please? One more message. Okay. So on the back of the deck we have faith. Believe you are not alone. Spirit is right beside you. Ask for guidance and it will come. So yeah, if you feel the need to check in with your guides or with Spirit, then you can do that as many times as you want to on your path. There is no limit as to how many times you can ask, is this the right path for me? Is this the right path for me? They'll be completely patient with you and they won't ever get annoyed with you. So if that's what you feel like you need to do, then do so, you know. So we also have nature. Sometimes all you need is to go outside, breathe the fresh air, to remember who you are and where you want to be. This really reminds me of the, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, I know I am, the Argathans card, because they're very much, that they live in the hollow earth and there's no toxins. It's all very clean and pure and just nature without any of the pollutants in it. So because of that being part of your soul's origins, going out into nature could really benefit you because it will reconnect you with that energy and that sense of home. You also have prosperity. Focus on the positive and more good will come. Give thanks for blessings and they will multiply. Prosperity begins in the mind. So yeah, double check your mindset and how you're thinking of situations and things. And if you're thinking of the negatives, then see if you can flip them to a positive or see the positive within it, like seeing the silver lining. Also, I'm being drawn to mention, and the words have gone out of my head, gratitude journaling as well may be significant for you. And you also have awareness. Pay attention to the subtleties. Pay attention, I'll try that again. Pay attention to the subtleties. Look with new eyes. There are signs and omens everywhere. So watch out for signs from your guides and from Spirit and your higher self as well. Dragonflies may be significant to you as well. So yeah, watch out for little signs and synchronicities. And you also have journey. Focus on how far you have come, not how far you have to go. You will find help in unexpected places. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, don't worry about where you're can't think of the wording that I used earlier, where you're heading, and don't worry about this situation that hasn't gone to plan. Focus on where you are now and use that as your starting point rather than where you feel like you should be at this point in life or where you should be by now. Whether that be career or personal life, spiritual development, whatever it is. There's no point in pushing yourself and beating yourself up for not being where you think you should be. Because there's nothing worse than shoulding all over your life, because it will do nothing apart from rip you apart and wear you down. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have for you, my powerfuls. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this resonates. Please feel free to like, comment or subscribe if you feel like doing so, and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And I hope that you're having a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this. I apologise for Toby snoring. And I will see you in the next one. I hope you come back to see me again soon. Bye.